It's Tuesday, June 24th, 2025. It's the 175th day of the year, and we've got more weather to talk about. Things are getting pretty wild out there right now, actually, especially on the East Coast, just with the heat, okay? And we've got a lot more to talk about today than just heat, but we've got extreme heat warnings in effect right now out here across portions of Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio, even West Virginia, and of course, all along the East Coast. From the North Carolina Outer Banks all the way up the I-95 corridor, past New York City, up towards Boston, even up to the Canadian border, we're experiencing some very anomalous warm air, okay? And it's going to be a prolonged thing. It's going to peak today and tomorrow. Once again, keep that in mind as we go forward. This is actually a pretty dangerous weather event. 160 million Americans are under heat alerts today as high temperatures, even without the humidity, even without the heat index, are above 100 degrees. We're talking about 101, 102, 103, 104 degrees out here in some portions of Virginia, South Carolina, up there into New Jersey even. Look here, just south of Boston, 101. And that's just not common. I see a lot on the internet about how, oh, it's summertime, it gets hot in June. Not like this, okay? So like the excessive heat warnings and stuff are actually valid. And it's important to remember that we don't want to be outside for too long. And, heat stroke is a real thing and all that kind of stuff. The core of this oppressive heat stretches from the Midwest all the way up into the East Coast. Major metro areas like Philadelphia, New York City, and Washington, D.C. are bracing for the worst of it today. But once again, this is going to be a multi-day event, and it's really going to peak today into tomorrow. And even after that, the long duration of this is going to cause exacerbated impacts, especially for the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic. So what's causing all this? Let me zoom out here on the GFS, because I literally have to zoom out that far just to show you the expansive nature of our major upper level ridge here that goes way up into Canada, that's allowing for all of this warm air to kind of advect up to the north here. The atmospheric pressure pattern here, we have such a high pressure, it's 2 standard deviations above late June climatology. So this is not normal. This does not happen every year. It's going to continue to be a truly exceptional event as we go forward. And the impacts are going to be severe, widespread highs between 98 and 102 degrees, with heat indices soaring up to 110. That's the big thing here. With humidity, 110, 115 degrees is not going to be out of the question across a lot of these places, especially the metro centers like New York City. Even at night, the low temperatures at night are going to struggle to get down below 85 and 80, which is just going to add insult to injury here. Now, another implication of this big ridge are the major train tracks that are setting up over here in the Rockies and the Southwest, where we've got a ton of Pacific moisture making it up into Arizona and New Mexico, up into Colorado. This is going to lead to a prolonged period of precipitation. And today specifically, that precipitation is going to lead to life-threatening flash flooding. We've got a rare moderate risk, 3 out of 4 for excessive rainfall down here around the Sacramento Mountains in New Mexico. This is including Santa Fe, Albuquerque, and Point South. And once again, it looks like life-threatening flash flooding will happen today as these storms are just going to go over the same areas over and over again. This is an all-day and all-night threat. The heaviest rain is expected to begin late this morning and continue through the afternoon and linger well into the overnight hours, finally tapering off early Wednesday morning. And this is another one of those things where this ain't normal, y'all. This is in the 99th percentile of moisture rankings, okay? So like the Weather Service down here is saying that this is a 1 out of 100 event. Like we don't see this every day. So it's important to take this seriously. If you live in a flood prone area, there likely will be flash flooding today. And the flash flooding that will occur down here is potentially going to be catastrophic. Rainfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour are going to be likely. Some models are showing a worst case scenario of up to 4 inches of rain just today. Y'all, that's not going to lead to anything good in New Mexico. So don't be scared, be prepared, and once again, have your plan of what you're going to do when that flash flood warning comes through and how you're going to get to higher ground. On top of that, the moisture is also going to lead to significant severe thunderstorms a little bit farther to the north. We actually have a threat targeting the high plains today. We've got supercells possible, capable of producing hail larger than golf balls. The bullseye for these powerful storms is going to be across the central and northern high plains, including cities like Aurora, Greeley in Colorado, and Cheyenne in Wyoming. You see this bad boy right here? This could have up to baseball-size hail with it if it taps into the environment that's in place. And there is a very, complex and favorable environment in place today for supercells and damaging winds and potentially even some isolated tornadoes. But I think the hail and the wind threat's definitely going to be the main thing. The main show is going to get started this afternoon. It's going to continue into the evening. And that's why we've got a slight risk of severe weather for today from the Storm Prediction Center over there in the yellow. And then a marginal stretches all the way over towards Maine. Our highest area of concern is obviously the slight risk, but even in Des Moines, Chicago, over towards upstate New York into Maine, we could see isolated showers and thunderstorms today. And that would actually be a big relief over there on the East Coast if we do get those pockets of rain to cool things off. But the fact that it's so hot is leading to instability levels similar to what we would see in the deep south and the southeast, where we get those daily pop-up showers and thunderstorms. We could see stuff like that even up there in southern portions of Canada today, which is plumb wild if you ask me. And speaking of those scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms, tomorrow the heat and the instability is going to be so intense that we've got 14 million people in the line of fire for severe storms on Wednesday. And it's all because of these pulse thunderstorms, these summertime thunderstorms that could lead to microbursts and damaging winds as a result of just how tall and powerful these storms get, especially around Charlotte and Raleigh down towards Greensboro. And that's going to lead to some strong storms also around Mobile down towards Panama City. The timing for this is going to be during the peak heating of the day tomorrow, with storms expected to fire up around 5 p.m. more than likely, and then lasting until the sun goes down. And we're about to dive much deeper into that. But first, let's check out today's awesome sponsor. Ground News. Don't just read the news, understand it. They're an independent app and website that helps cut through the noise and see the complete picture. They give you insights on political bias, factuality, and even who owns the sources that you're reading. They're all telling you the real news, but they put their own spin on it. You're almost certainly going to fall for some sort of propaganda or somebody's opinion. I don't like reading the news at all until I found Ground News. Like, this is really eye-opening for me. When it comes to news, I only get it from Ground News. Just this week, I was looking at their coverage of NOAA's above-average hurricane season prediction for 2025. And what really caught my attention was how differently outlets were framing this forecast. Some were emphasizing the alarming potential, while others were sticking to the factual numbers, which do look above average, but they're not adding the urgency or the false alarming language on top of that. As someone who values giving out accurate information, I love Ground News. Right now, my viewers can get 40% off unlimited access with the Ground News Vantage plan. That's the exact same plan that I use every day. Just head over to ground.news/Ryan Hall. There's a link at the main top of the description. Click that link and you're going to get 40% off, and it comes out to about $5 a month or something like that. Or you can just scan this QR code here, and it's the same thing as clicking the link. I know a lot of people like to watch on the TV, so just scan that link right now. And once again, you're not going to regret this. You're going to wonder why you ever did it any other way. Now let's get back into the video. So what's fueling this, once again, is just the amount of heat and instability that we're going to have. Look at the daggone Cape at 12 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to be plumb out the wazoo already, maybe exceeding 3,000 joules per kilogram back here in portions of Georgia and South Carolina. Any little pocket of cool air that gets introduced here from a valley or whatever it is, an outflow boundary, is going to hit that and then immediately spark up big thunderstorms that could cause damaging winds, large hail, and there's an exceptionally small threat of an isolated tornado, but the tornado threat is not at all what we're concerned about here. It's mostly the hail, damaging winds, maybe even some flash flooding as well. But notice how as we go into the overnight period, all those storms that pop up kind of eat up all that Cape, and then also we lose that daylight instability and things calm down very quickly. So as soon as the sun starts going down, it's not going to be much of a problem after that. And tomorrow the heavy rain is going to continue along our ridge as well, and the flash flooding threat actually moves off to the north a little bit. We've got a slight risk in Minneapolis, down towards Des Moines, Sioux Falls, Lincoln, and Omaha, over towards Madison and Eau Claire. You guys are all under a slight risk of excessive rainfall, as we could have some pretty significant rain, not only tomorrow on Wednesday, but also on Thursday. We continue to see this heavy rain blob move off to the north and even up into Canada, where we could see some significant rainfall. So here's what we're looking at over the next 7 days. And remember, a lot of this is just going to fall over the next 2 or 3 days. We could be talking about more than 5 to 7 inches of rain, especially in northern portions of Iowa. Anywhere in the reds, though, could see 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches of rain. So that's why we're concerned about flash flooding from Eau Claire all the way back down to Omaha. If you live in a flood-prone area, just keep your eyes out for this. But look at Dallas. Dallas, no rain at all expected over the next 7 days. Maybe not even a single raindrop. Isn't that plumb wild? Now, looking ahead to the end of the week, the main storm track is going to make a move, setting the stage for an active severe weather pattern once again in the northern plains, but maybe just a little bit farther north this time. We do have a slight risk of severe weather, or a 15% risk here from the Storm Prediction Center on Friday. This includes the Dakotas, Minnesota, and it's impacting cities like Fargo, Bismarck, and Aberdeen. This is for Friday, and it's mostly going to be for another round of supercells that could cause damaging winds, large hail, and maybe even an isolated tornado or two. Now, what's causing this is there's a little bit of a dip in the jet stream over here that's going to allow for some lift, and that's going to allow for some storms to take place, especially with the very moist and unstable atmosphere that's already going to be there. The main threats are going to be hail and damaging winds. This looks like a classic summer severe weather setup for the northern plains. So I don't think that this will be as intense as what we covered up here around Bismarck the other day, but it's definitely going to have its potential to be damaging in nature. So get ready for that. Now, switching over to the tropics real quick, we've got an area that we're watching down here south and west of Mexico, but our first named tropical system of this season is officially on the board. We've got Tropical Storm Andrea out here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, really not going anywhere anytime soon, but it's swirling about out there. We talked about this yesterday, and once again, it's officially a tropical storm with 40-mile-per-hour winds, and it's moving east-northeast at 17 miles per hour. And as you can see here from our cone, our forecast track, it doesn't look like it's going to hit land anytime soon, but it's just another reminder, hey, hurricane season is here, and we're going to watch these things pop up like crazy over the next couple of months. If you live along the coasts, just know that we are expecting a somewhat above average season, so get ready for that. Don't be scared, be prepared. And that's pretty much all the weather talk I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, go check out our sponsor today. Huge shout out to our sponsor, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here. And thank you guys for supporting them. Make sure you click that link in the description. It does look like we have a very small chance of going live tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. We'll be on standby mode. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.